Once in a small, quiet village, a young man named Saad dreamed big. At 20 years old, he wanted more than just a life of routine. He wanted to pass the government exams, land a respectable job, and make his parents proud. But there was one enemy he couldn't fight, his own mind. Negative thoughts crept in constantly. Focus slipped away. Every time he tried to study, fear jumped in. What if I fail again, he thought. Everyone will laugh at me. Frustration built inside. He slammed the book shut, holding his head in both hands. A wave of exhaustion and self-doubt hit him. He looked in the mirror and barely recognized the sad, worn-out face staring back. Giving up seemed easier than trying. Breakfast came, and his mother called him softly. He wiped his face and walked to the kitchen. His father, serious and stern, asked about his studies. Saad stayed silent. His father's words were sharp: control your mind, or your life will control you. The weight of expectations pressed down on him. Every bite of food felt heavy. His mother quietly tried to ease the tension, putting extra bread on his plate, while his father left for the fields, worry written all over his face. Saad found a mango tree outside and opened his books, hoping the fresh air would help. But distractions were everywhere: a barking dog, yesterday's failures, his uncle's teasing words. He read the same line 5 times and slammed the notebook shut again. Tears filled his eyes. Why is my mind like this, he wondered. I want to study, but I can't. How will I pass? How will I make my parents proud? Evening came slowly. His mother noticed his struggle and called him over gently. She made him sit beside her, gave him water, and touched his head softly. Saad shared his struggles, and she listened without judgment. She told him her own stories of hardship and whispered, "Never lose hope. God is watching." For the first time that day, Saad felt a flicker of peace. That night, his father lay awake on the old bed, staring at the dark ceiling, worried about his son. He shared his fears with his wife: no progress, uncertain future, and the judgment of the village. His mother defended Saad, speaking softly of patience and faith. By morning, Saad and his father walked along the dusty village path. The sun was soft and golden. Curiosity mixed with nervousness filled Saad as they approached a large tree where an old, wise teacher sat calmly. White beard, simple clothes, eyes closed in meditation, peace radiated from him. The teacher opened his eyes slowly and smiled as if expecting them. "Welcome. Sit down," he said. Saad and his father bowed respectfully. Saad's father explained the struggles, how Saad's mind wandered, how negative thoughts took over, how he couldn't focus. Saad looked down, ashamed, as the teacher listened quietly. Then the teacher turned to Saad, asking him to speak in his own words. With a trembling voice, Saad admitted, "My mind jumps to bad thoughts. I try to focus, but I fail." The teacher nodded. "I understand. The mind is like a wild horse, it can be trained." He stood and brought out an old clay water pot with a small hole at the bottom. Water dripped slowly from it. He placed it in front of Saad and said, "Watch carefully." Water dripped, drop by drop. Saad watched, puzzled. The teacher asked, "What do you see?" "Water is leaking," Saad replied. The teacher smiled. "Now, fill it. Keep it full for 1 hour. But it will leak." Saad filled it again and again. Drip. 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 Frustration grew. The water never stayed full. He looked helplessly at the teacher, who sat silently, watching. Finally, the teacher spoke gently, "The pot is like your mind. Water is your focus and peace. The hole is negative thoughts. You cannot win by filling the water alone. First, stop the leaks." Saad's eyes widened. "How do I close the hole, teacher?" The teacher smiled. "When a negative thought comes, stop. Take 3 deep breaths. Tell yourself, this is just a thought. Let it pass, like a cloud. Watch it, but do not follow it. Practice this every day. Slowly, the hole closes. Your mind becomes strong. Saad nodded. He promised to practice. The teacher blessed him. Thoughts will come. You decide what to do. Breathe. Observe. Let go. Every day. And that was the beginning of Saad's journey, his first step toward mastering his mind. The very next morning, Saad woke up before sunrise. The village was still asleep, and a soft golden light touched the fields. He took a deep breath, remembering the teacher's words. Today, he would practice focus and control over his thoughts. He opened his books with a fresh sense of hope. Almost immediately, a negative thought appeared: you will fail. You are not capable. Saad paused. He took 3 deep breaths. He told himself, this is just a thought. Let it pass. Slowly, the fear faded. He read for 10 minutes without distraction. Some days were easier. Some days were harder. When fatigue came, negative thoughts attacked with greater force. But Saad remembered the pot lesson and the teacher's method. Each time, he stopped, breathed, watched the thought, and let it go. His mother noticed small changes. She saw him calmer, more patient. His father observed silently, hope quietly building. Saad's confidence grew with each small victory. One afternoon, as Saad went to the market to get vegetables for his mother, he saw his old friends laughing and sitting idle. They called him to join them. For a moment, he felt pulled toward the familiar distraction. Just 1 hour won't matter, he thought. Then he remembered the teacher's words and the water pot. He stopped himself. 3 deep breaths later, he politely declined his friends and walked back home, vegetables in hand. Inside, a sense of strength and pride swelled within him. In the 3rd week, his mother fell sick with a fever. Worry filled the house. Panic and fear crept into Saad's mind, old habits threatening to return. But he stopped, breathed, and remained calm. He helped his father care for his mother, studied late at night, and practiced focus despite exhaustion. Saad's mother noticed his inner strength. Pride filled her eyes. By the end of the 3rd week, Saad completed an entire chapter without distraction. For the first time in his life, he studied for 2 hours straight, fully focused. He ran to share the news with his mother. She had recovered and hugged him with tears of joy. When his father returned from the fields, Saad showed him the completed notes. His father smiled silently, eyes shining with pride. Hope had returned to the household. After 1 month of consistent practice, Saad and his father returned to the teacher. Saad shared his progress, the hours of study, the patience, the control over distractions, the calm during his mother's illness. The teacher listened with a gentle smile. Then he gave Saad 2 pots, one with a hole, one without, and asked him to explain the difference. Saad understood instantly. The pot without a hole represented his growing mind, slowly becoming calm and strong. Hardest battles bring the strongest victory, Saad said, realizing the truth of his journey. The teacher nodded. You are closing the hole slowly. Keep practicing. Saad left the teacher that day feeling stronger than ever, ready to face every challenge with calm, focus, and courage. The exam day arrived. Saad woke up before sunrise, feeling calm and focused. His mother prepared a special breakfast, praying quietly. His father walked with him to the exam hall. Inside, hundreds of students sat nervously. Saad took his seat, heart steady, mind clear. When fear crept in, what if I fail? He remembered the teacher's method. 3 deep breaths. Watch the thought. Let it pass. The fear dissolved. He read the questions with focus, recalling everything he had practiced. His hand moved steadily across the paper for 3 full hours. Outside, his father waited, proud but silent. Back home, his mother prayed with hope. 6 weeks later, the results were posted. Saad walked to the notice board. His name was there, he had passed with excellent marks. Shock and joy filled him. He ran home to share the news. The family hugged, tears of happiness streaming. The teacher smiled knowingly under his tree. Saad had transformed, a restless mind had become disciplined, focused, and powerful. He had learned the ultimate lesson: the mind must be trained before it can be filled. From that day on, Saad remembered, negative thoughts will come, but calm, practice, and patience always win. The ordinary boy had become extraordinary.